Hi there, good morning. Welcome to Arad, Romania. I just arrived in Romania yesterday. As I showed in my last video, coming across the border, interesting experience from Hungary. Stayed at a hotel here last night and then am now heading for Timisoara, which is like between a half hour and an hour away, something like that. I am walking over to the train and bus station to figure out what is going to be the best way to get over to Timisoara. When I looked online, there was a train going at 1 o'clock. It is a little after 11 right now. And then I asked at my hotel, and there are minivans, I guess, that go to Timisoara like every hour. We'll see once I get over there. So notice street lights not working, or stoplights. It's just a sort of roundabout situation. I'm not sure if like they're just out for the day or what's going on, but traffic is still working. So coming from Hungary, as soon as you step into Romania, everything changes because of the language. All of a sudden, the words start to look familiar because it is a Romance language. So you can see from here, analyze de laborator, laboratory analysis, something like that. Rafesen bank. I'm not sure if that's maybe just happening to be in English or if the word for bank in Romanian is also bank. But here, la med life au meru un medic bun. So med life, like, I'm not sure if that's like Mediterranean or medical, more likely, I guess. But then the word medic, you know, we have the exact same word in English. Transform. Provocarial in victory pentru. So, you know, transform, exact same word. Victory, like victory. Sanitatea, like sanitary, perhaps. Anyways, point being, in Hungary, then you see the words and there is just no comparison, no familiarity at all with the Romance languages, Spanish, Italian, and then English basically crosses the different languages, the Romance languages and the Germanic, so that we have words from both, and so they will look familiar compared to English as well, even though it isn't traditionally a Romantic language in the same way as the other ones. Anyways, this video is not about Romania, although you will be getting a good little taste of it as I walk over to the train station. I could have just caught a taxi, but thought that this would be a good opportunity to tell the story of my Hungarian spa experience. So I came here yesterday from Mako, Hungary, which I went to because I'd searched online for Hungarian spas or thermal baths, and that was one that came up that looked really cool, that was also on the way to Romania, and so it just kind of made sense to stop there for a couple of days. And so day before yesterday, my last evening in Hungary, then I was staying in a nice hotel in Mako that was within sight of the thermal baths. You could just walk right over there in 1 minute. So I was busy throughout the day doing other stuff, and then decided to go over there and experience it that evening around, like, I think it was getting close to 8, but it was open until midnight. And so I was thinking, what should I bring over there? I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. I wasn't sure about the locker situation. I wasn't sure about the towel situation. So I went over there wearing a pair of pants, a shirt, my slip-on sandals, and then in my pockets I had my credit card, my room key, and then a pair of shorts. That's all that I went over there with. All right, lights working here. Guess that other one was just out for the day. So I wasn't sure if it was a clothing optional spa. This is my first time to a Hungarian bath, and so didn't know at all how it worked. I had seen parts of it from the outside that almost looked like a water park, like slides and stuff like that, obviously for kids. And so I assumed obviously that was going to be swimsuit required area, but then I wasn't sure if maybe other places within it might be separated men's and women's and people don't go in with a suit or whatever. So I was just kind of prepared to do what the Romans do when in Rome, and figure it out once I get there, but I was prepared with a swim suit. I did not bring a towel because I don't have a towel. I have 2 sarongs, which are very thin. I use them to take them to the beach. They're good for laying down on the sand, and then you can kind of dry yourself off with them, but they aren't very effective because they're so thin. So I just assumed there would be towels there. Bad assumption. So I walk over there. It is very busy, a Saturday night, long lines. I wait in line and then get up to the desk, and the lady there speaks very good English, fortunately. And so I say one person and then ask her about the lockers, and she explains, let's get past the construction. And so she explains she's going to give me a wristband that looks like a watch. You put it on your wrist, and then the watch looking part is an electromagnetic thing that will let you into the baths area, and then also let you into your locker. You go downstairs and you go up to the screen and it tells you what your locker number is. And so I say great, and then pay. It was about $10. Go in, go downstairs, and then I come to the locker area. There's only one door. I look in and I see only women. And this is the dressing room and shower area and everything. And so I'm looking around trying to see where the men's locker room is, and then I think probably a guy goes past me and goes in, and then I look inside and I realize that it is actually mixed men and women. In the locker room area, there are little stalls, private stalls where you can change, and so everyone is in their swimsuits there. It is all mixed. So that was the case everywhere that I saw through the whole thing. It was all mixed and everyone wearing swimsuits. Now, there's a problem, which is that I am not seeing towels anywhere. And I had forgotten to ask the lady up at the top, but it's a big long line. It's a crowded thing up there, and in order to even get back in the line, you'd have to go out, and then you have to get rid of your watch thing. You put it in this thing and it sucks it down in order to go out of the gate area and back to the line. And besides, I didn't see any towels around there at all. And so I'm thinking, well, I guess we're just gonna wing it without the towel, and at the end when I take a shower, I'll just wait to drip dry, or maybe dry off in a sauna and then go out dry, something like that. I'm thinking that because it appears that everyone's wearing swimsuits, then it might not be an issue like in the saunas of needing to have a towel to sit on because you're in your swimsuit. Again, bad assumption. And so I find my locker, I change into a swimsuit, put all my stuff in the locker, close it, and then I am just wearing the swimsuit. That is all that I have. And so I start looking around for where the pools are. They're up a level. There are signs in English, fortunately. And so I get up there, and the pool area is quite busy. Lots of kids, and it's all mixed. Really cool area, big domed building. The buildings there are all designed by a famous Hungarian architect, and so they all have this very unique style. Apparently they were created to look like an onion because that area is an onion producing town, and so it's, you know, very interesting in there. But I get in the water and it is totally lukewarm. It's basically just like a heated swimming pool. So I'm not sure, you know, okay, maybe it's just warmish here, but then there are going to be some hot tubs somewhere else, or there's another room with the hot tubs or something like that. So I take a swim, but then it's really crowded and it's not hot. So I head out of there, but then really the only other place to go is back down to the locker room. And so I go down there looking for another entryway to another room, and then I see Sauna World. So there's arrows pointing down a hall to Sauna World. So decide to go check out the saunas since I'm not finding any hot tubs. And so I go down that hall, but then I get to a gate, again, like the turnstile thing where you need to beep with your watch, and then it will let you through. And so I go up to it and I put my watch against the thing, and it beeps red, and it doesn't allow me to go through. And so I'm not sure what's going on. And then another guy comes along, and I kind of like look at him like, any idea here? And he shows that he has another wristband, not a magnetic one, but just another like paper wristband on his wrist. And then he beeps and it opens up for him. So then it becomes apparent that there's an extra charge to use the saunas, and so I need to get that. And so now I'm, you know, wet in my swimsuit with no towel, and I have to go back upstairs and deal with like the whole line situation. All right, spectacular. But just missed the walk, so here we are getting a good taste of the more historical area of Arad, where I had dinner at the end of the last video. I think was straight on down that way a little ways. Okay, we got the walk symbol. There are various different streetcars here in Arad. So you have the newer looking ones, and then you also have the classic old communist era ones that are just really cool looking. Quite a scene here. So that is the Cathedrala Sfânta Treme, Cathedral of Saint whatever or whoever Treme is. Ooh, exchange. Okay, I'm going to take advantage of this. So, got that done. I had 4,000 Hungarian forint left over from Hungary. I had 50 euros left over from Austria. And then I had 245 US dollars. I wanted to keep the 200, but exchange the 45. So I exchanged 4,000 forint, 50 euros, $45 US. And I got a bunch of the local Romanian leu, it's called. It's not lei, it's not lev, it's leu kind of, but I think just lei is fine. I'm not exactly sure of the exchange rates. I just wanted to get rid of that stuff. It wasn't big money, and the spread was quite tight between the buy and the sell price, and that is a good indication that it is a decent exchange rate that they're offering. It's when there's a big difference between the buy and the sell, that's when they're a ripoff. So I already had actually some Romanian currency from going to an ATM yesterday, but it wasn't a whole lot. All right, so I am in the locker room in my wet swim suit and still kind of dripping wet a bit with no towel, and I can't get into the saunas. I now have to go up and pay for an extra ticket. And so I'm kind of at a crossroads of, should I just abandon this whole thing and just call it a swim and go home, go back to my room? But I don't want to do that, of course, so I decided to just go for it. So I put on my shirt and my sandals and wear the shorts and go up there, and I'm hoping that I can get the lady's attention and pay for that without having to go out of the gate, because then I'm like starting over and then stand in line in my wet shorts and all that. And so sure enough, I'm able to get her attention. She says, yeah, she'll help me after the next person. And so she gets me the extra ticket. I had also brought my credit card, of course, to pay for it. And so that is all taken care of. I don't have to go outside and wait in the line and everything. So get back down to the locker room and then put stuff back in the locker, and then in my shorts head for the saunas. And the gate does open this time and I get through. Now I still have the there you go, the older one. And so I still have the situation of no towel. I walk into the sauna area. It's really cool. It's down a level, underground, so no windows. And then there is a cold pool in the middle, and this series of different saunas around it, like 6 different saunas, and they all have different properties. Like one is like an infrared sauna, and one is an aroma sauna, one is a Finnish sauna, one is a like herb sauna. Like they all have different names. And so as for the lack of a towel, I'm figuring, well, it's not a nude situation. Everyone's wearing swimsuits. It's mixed, men and women, even in the saunas. And so you're sitting on your swimsuit, so maybe, you know, you don't really need a towel in the saunas. So I think that I went into one of the saunas and then hung there for a little bit, and then came out, did the cold plunge, and then came out and decided to go into another one of the saunas. As I go in, there's nobody else in there. Then I kind of hear a voice behind me, but I ignore it. And then the door opens and a guy is talking directly to me, very gruffly, in Hungarian. And so I say to him, I don't speak Hungarian, and kind of walk back towards him. And then he's wearing a towel around his waist. It turns out he's a worker there. And he like shakes his towel thing. He's telling me you need to have a towel. And of course I don't speak Hungarian at all. So I just say in English, I don't have a towel, I didn't bring one. He got the idea. Whether he spoke English or not, I wasn't sure. And so he says, wait just a minute, and then he goes to the desk for the sauna and gets me a towel, and I'm now all good. And so I just did the sauna thing. Basically, I never found out about any hotter pools. I mentioned it to Nick, Indigo Traveler, who I mentioned in the last video that I visited, another YouTuber. I happened to mention to him that the pools weren't very hot, and he said that's just the case with the Hungarian spas. I don't know if that's always the case or what, but there was a whole outside area, as I mentioned, the like water park looking place, but it was dark when I was there, so I didn't go out there. And I never saw any other signs indicating that there was a whole place that I was missing as far as other pools. And so I guess I basically saw what was there, a couple of basically swimming pools, and then the saunas. And so I went into like 4 or 5 of the saunas and alternated with the cold water, and then that was it. So there you go. I was definitely a little disappointed by the lack of hot water, since that's, you know, the main thing I expect with a thermal bath. I really like the places that have pools of different temperatures and then a cold plunge, and I like to go, you know, sort of work up into the hotter of the pools and then alternate going into the cold water. But still, it was a nice experience. The saunas were especially good, and I would certainly do a Hungarian bath again, but next time I'll bring a towel. Okay, I don't know what happened to the train station, so got to check my phone, get over to the train, and get to Timisoara. So that is it from Arad, and lots more coming from Romania. See ya. It is 12 noon. So I just walked a long ways in the wrong direction that way because I was too busy vlogging. But no biggie, because I have plenty of time. If the schedules that I saw online were accurate, there's a train at 1, and as I said, it's 12:01, and the train station is pretty close to here. And here we are, Arad Central Railway Station, 12:16. I will let you know if things work out as far as the train actually leaving to Timisoara at 1 o'clock. Well, here we have the schedules right here. And it is not looking good. It is showing one at 2:20. So good news. I wasn't looking closely enough. That was arrivals. Here is departures, and there's actually one at 12:35. I guess the one going to Bucharest, yes, she said 3. And then also there was the one at 1:10 to Timisoara. So good timing that I got here early. It was 22 lei. Not sure yet how much that is in dollars. Don't have a handle on the exchange rates, but I'll put it down below. All right. I wanted to have the Romanian train experience rather than the Romanian minivan experience. This should definitely be nicer.